Welcome to Realfire videos. In this video, we're going to go through execute with a split range option in Realfire. This capability, this feature is available in the professional edition and above. Every org has some objects which are massive in Salesforce. Either you're the logging kind of table or account table or a contact or what have you. And if you want to query them by set of predicates, that's a where clause options on fields which are indexed is pretty straightforward. You can selectively specify the range from here to here, and you're gonna get the results back even if you have millions of rows in the base table. But the problem is when you want to predicate by um, by a non-index fields, then most of the time that particular endeavor is not very fruitful. You're gonna either hit query timeout or non-selective range, standard error that you get in Salesforce. So this is where the execute with a split ranges option is very capable and very powerful. So let's go and explore. So you could select any of the query that you want to execute. There is no limit what kind of query that you can specify. For example, you can specify the simple query like that, and you can right click and choose execute other, execute with a split ranges, or you could also click on this execute and execute with split ranges option. So when you do that, it's going to come up with this particular dialog. The dialog allows you to specify the field, the range field that we want to use to split to query subset of the records, and whatever the date, it has to be a date field, and the date has to be indexed, because if it is not indexed, you're going to again have the same problem. And because audit fields, the created date and the last modified date is always indexed, so it is a safe bet to use one of those. And you can specify the range, what range you want. You have standard options that you can choose. You can go back up to 12 months. um, in this case, let's say we want to choose from last 3 months to the last 2 months. So it means it's going to fetch from August 21st. Today is November 21st as of the recorded date. So it's going to fetch from August 21st till about September 21st. Okay, range. But if that range is not going to work out, you could actually select custom and then choose a particular date and time that of your choosing. Let's say you just want to choose from first 10 days, whatever of this particular month. You could choose them. Let's stick to 3 to 2 months. You can say how we want to split the range. Whether you want to split by 7 days, it means that if you choose 1 month range, is gonna make them 4 queries, 7 days each. Or you could choose if you have a lot of records within the even one split range, you could even choose less number of days. Or you could go more if you have a broader range. But 7 seems pretty reasonable, 7 days. And we have thread options. Here when you have split ranges, you have multiple queries that you want to execute, and you could let's Realfire execute one by one, and of course it's going to take time, but you could say execute them in parallel up to 5 concurrency max. So if you have 4, then it's going to use 4 queries. But if you have uh, you know 10 subqueries depending on the split, then you execute 5 of them. Then after they're completed, it's going to execute next 5, so on and so forth. So you could change depending on if it is sandbox, it's okay to go more, but a production be less than 5. Otherwise, you may impact other processes that may be happening, especially the integrations. Okay. So once you select all this option and per your liking, go and click OK, and then that will split the ranges, and that's gonna execute and it's gonna fetch the results. So remember, since we are execute them multiple queries in parallel, even if you do order by, it may not work out a lot of times when you display the results. So make sure that you sort by the column of your liking after you fetch. In this case, for example, we have August 21st, that's the last 3 months, till about September 21st, that's about last 2 months, the range. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind that so we don't have fetch next batch capability in when you use the split range options, because we fetch all the records within that particular range, so there is nothing to next batch in. So it means that the number of records can grow really huge if you have a big table and a lot of cardinality within that particular range you're choosing. So make sure that you choose a range that'll bring about 100k or something rows, so that you are not overwhelming the memory. And also when you do that, you could instead of using the wildcard, you could also specify individual fields. So the fields only want, especially when you fetch a lot of data from SFDC, it limits how many queries we get in one batch, right? If you select text area fields, it's going to give 500, but if you just select very few fields, it's going to give up to 2000 records in one batch. So it's going to be faster to fetch the results. And if you do refresh, then it is going to do the same thing. So you can say go and run this split batch in other queries. So this is about the split ranges. So if you have any questions or feedback on this feature, please do share at support@datasert.com or in the Realfire GitHub repo. Thank you.